Hey guys, this is Shadow from SGTCG, bringing you guys a new video, different from my normal content of One Piece, although we do got our Nami mat. But today we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super Fusion Worlds. Brand new TCG that just had pre-release at my local game store on Monday. So I was going to talk about the game, promo cards for entry, and then I actually won the pre-release, getting me the winner card. Pretty dope. Just way more hollow than the promo. Gold lettering, but I ended up taking the Frieza starter deck. So I was gonna give you guys a breakdown what came in the starter deck and tips and combos of what I was doing. So let's get right into it. All right, diving into our main part of the deck is our leader. So obviously you start off on the regular side before you even turn into Awaken, which I'll get more into later. But anytime your leader swings, Frieza's ability is to draw one. And then when you do get to Awaken, which you have to be at 4 life to do, we have a total of 8. You get to trigger it you get a free draw off of it, and then you switch to its Awaken form, which gets an extra 5,000 power buff to 20. And then it's also got, choose up to 2 of your battle cards to restand. So, let's say I got 2 guys on field. I could swing at their leader. I could swing at their board. And instead of them being rested, just stand them right back up, which, it's busted. It was coming in clutch during the pre-release. But let's dive into the deck. So starting off with our 1 costs, we got just a 1-drop vanilla. It's got a 15k stat line, which was, good to poke at the early stage of the leaders. But late game, I was starting to use it for combo. I could also have it on board and then drop it down to combo out and get out of some bigger swings late game, which was coming in clutch. But it did its thing. On to the next 1-drop. We have another 4 of. This one's a on play, draw 1 card. So this was good to continuously cycle. And then not only does it hit the board, I can use this later for combo. So it's good to just continuously get a bigger hand and just keep going through the cycle, because not only am I drawing from him, I'm going to draw off leader swing. So it's like 2 draws per turn, draw into something better, draw into something to put into energy. So it's a good little cycle. A lot of the starter decks did have some. Next, we got our first blocker of the deck. So 1-drop Dodoria. Of course, main thing is just a blocker. It's got a 5-cost combo on it. So if needed, if you had it in hand for like a final turn swing, you could buff it for 5. You could counter out off hand for 5. But this didn't really stick on board too much. Against Vegeta was continuously just bottom decking it, and against Goku was just popping it continuously. So it did do its thing early game, but late game it was just there. And then one of the main 1-drops of the deck. This thing was nasty. It's a 1-drop Frieza. On play, you can choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and rest it. Does not matter the cost. It could have been an 8-cost Broly. Could have been their 5-drop Gokus or Friezas or Vegetas. This thing was just resting everything. And then you could use this to combo with, our 5-drop Frieza, which I'll explain later, to rest and then stun later. Or you could get past blockers. But this won me some games by resting blockers and just going in for a big swing. And I could also combo it for that 10k. Really, really good card. On to the 2-drops now. Oops, dropped one. On to the 2-drops, we got our 2-drop vanilla Togoma. It's a 2-cost 20 swing, so I could still, if they awakened, if it wasn't Broly, I could still poke at the leader, and also a 10k combo. So pretty much all it was used for, comboing or poking once they awakened. Now this card is what helped me out. So my main thing was trying to get to Awaken right away, so I could end up using the ability and continuously draw and restand. So if my opponent was starving me out and not attacking life, I had these cards to be able to grab from my own life. So deck only has 2 Zarbons, but on play, add 1 card from your life to your hand. So if I was stuck at 6 and they were no longer swinging at my leader, just going for my board, this got me to get myself to Awaken so that I can continuously swing with Zarbon for 20 and just restand. So to keep it as a blocker the next turn. So this helped me get to my own Awaken form, and played a big part of some of the wins that I got. Next 2-drop, same concept as Zarbon. It's Frieza, but this one was when attacking. I draw one, and then not only that, I can rest up to a 3 cost or less one of my opponent's cards and set it to rested. So this could let me go through some of those baby blockers and be able to swing at the leader, or potentially rest and swing at their characters to be able to clear the board so they couldn't swing at me. But the main thing for this was getting me down to that 4 life and then being able to just restand and draw combos out, because now they can't swing at my own board, which was helping me out a lot. Under the 3 costs, we got a vanilla Frieza with a stat line of 25. This is one of those cards where if you hit the board, swing, restand, because then we can use it for combo for 10k. So that was also one of the essential things to get to that awaken. So if we don't have a lot of cards in hand, you got a thick board, we can bring it down to combo to be able to survive some of those attacks, which, you know, came into clutch. Now to some of our abilities. 3 costs, we only got Kui. Kui's a blocker, but on KO, let us draw so we can continue to build our hand. So I was not afraid to let him go if need be. Against Vegeta, I was just swinging so he would swing at it so it wouldn't be bottom decked. But a lot of the time he was just bottom decked and I couldn't get that life ability. But it's good to get that draw off cycle and be able to get into something better, combo, or even get to your 5 cost super rare golden Frieza. For our next one, we have a 4-drop Shisami. This is just a vanilla 30k swing. I was using this to gain energy majority of the time, but when I did have it enough to play it out, 30k swing, you know, to draw out some combo out of the hand or swing big at something on board. If not, we still had that 10k combo to beef up any of our other swings, which was coming in essential. One of the main things in our starter decks, or any deck that you're going to want to have, is your super combo card. You're only allowed 4 super combos in your deck at all times, but on your opponent's turn, when you combo out, it gets an extra 10k stat line. So this is really a 20k combo out of an attack. On your own turn, it's 10,000 to beef up an attack, but this is mainly a defense. And in desperate measures, you had to chuck them out, but a lot of the time they just stayed in hand until late game to be able to get out of those big swings, to save the big bodies after swinging with it and just go for a kill. Alright, now on to my super rares. We got King Cold, which is a 4-drop 25k stat line. Main thing of it is that it is a blocker and it's got another condition for the KO, which is choose up to one of your opponent's rested battle cards with the cost of 4 or less and KO it. Which, again, do not mind letting this go to be able to pop one of those 4 drops. A lot of times I would want to go for the Gohan if Gohan wasn't popping this, but if it did, it's going to pop the Gohan in return. But definitely a great card. I'm trying to get another starter deck to run 4 of this card. Same thing with the next card I'm going to go over, which is our boss character, Golden Frieza. It's got double strike, and when it attacks, it's able to stun one of your opponent's characters and does not turn active until their next turn. Such a great card. A lot of the times when I had this in hand, I was just trying to get my opponent down to 2 life, and then I was just swinging at the board to bait out the combos. Once I had a thick hand, this hit the board, swinging double, and then comboing everything. I think the biggest attack I did with the Golden Frieza for double was a 110k swing for life. And obviously, once the life hits 0, that's game. It's not one final hit like it is in One Piece. But definitely MVP of the deck. And other than the battle cards, we do have extra cards, which are just event cards. So I got, 4 of a Golden Death Beam, activate main, choose up to one of your opponent's rested 3 costs or less, and it pops it. So a good little board clear. If there was not a lot on board that I wasn't swinging at, this was going into my energy. But still something good to clear board for those 3 costs. And last card in the deck is Death Ball. You know, choose your leader, it gets up to 15k power buff, and then you get to choose to rest any 3 cost or less character that your opponent has, which is also good for endgame of resting any blockers that they had if they had were up to a 3 cost. But yeah, my main thing was continuously taking life to get to awaken right away, and then just comboing, restanding everything, comboing from field, from hand to get out of stuff, or going for endgame. But yeah, definitely might start uploading more Dragon Ball content as well as the One Piece content. Locals are gonna happen probably once a week, so expect some more DBZ content on top of our One Piece content. If you guys enjoy the videos, you know, drop a like, comment, helps us out a bit, lets us know what we should work on. So any feedback's great.